My name is Lisa. I'm 37 years old. I work as a beauty and osteopathic esthetician. After graduating from college and taking a maternity leave, I left the workplace where I had been employed for over 10 years to start my own business about 5 years ago. I was able to fulfill my dream of having my own salon. I welcomed my childhood friend Anna, a former industry insider, as my partner, and together we run a small salon. Thanks to word of mouth, referrals, and Anna's industry connections, our clientele has steadily increased, and now we're fortunate to have some high-profile customers, including celebrities, fashion industry figures, and company CEOs. Starting my own business while raising a young child was quite a risk, but I had a compelling reason to do so. It was my husband's long-term affair. Today is the deadline day. On a rare weekend off from work, I asked my daughter Mia, who was in her room, "Are you ready to move to our new home?" "Totally," she replied energetically, and I smiled back at her. Soon after, we asked the moving company to pack everything except our personal belongings. Our things went to the new home for Mia and me, while most of the other items, including my husband's, were sent to his current lover's parents' house. Mia and I are stepping into our new home today, which will be our castle from now on.
Mom, it's so spacious.
Right?
I have my own room, right?
Yes. The room with the white door at the back is Mia's.
Yay, I'm so happy. Can I invite my friends?
Hearing Mia's excitement, I couldn't help but feel overwhelmed with joy. Of course. You couldn't do that before.
Yeah. We used to share a small room, and Dad was always so strict about not letting people in. Oh, but I didn't mind sharing a room with you, Mom.
Seeing Mia hurriedly explain, I found her so adorable and said, "I know," as I gently stroked her head, which has grown closer to my eye level with each passing year. The old house was small because we lived there since Mia was a baby. Dad never allowed us to move. "You guys don't need a big house," he'd say. I hugged Mia tightly, showing a mix of anger and sadness. In return, she hugged me back and then cheerfully said, "I'm gonna go organize my new room," before skipping off to her new space. Watching her happy figure, I deeply felt. It's been a long journey. It's not over yet, but perhaps because my heart has settled a bit, the soft feel of the brand new bed made me softly utter a long-held sigh. I lay there, reminiscing about the long road we've taken. It all started when I returned to work. The salon where I worked wasn't a big chain, but it was somewhat well known in the beauty and lymphatic drainage industry. The owner, a mother of two, was very understanding about marriage, childbirth, and parenting. Among my colleagues, there were a couple who returned to work after childbirth, and the owner, considering her own postpartum experience, offered 2 years of maternity leave and no late shifts for the first year back, with the option for part-time hours afterward. It was truly a supportive workplace for women, and I'm still grateful to the owner. However, my husband was different. Or rather, he became different. He had initially appreciated the supportive work environment of my place of employment. We had carefully planned our family life before marriage and discussed my return to work postpartum. After I returned, he promised to help with childcare and household chores, leading us to start our family, and I took maternity leave and returned to work as planned 2 years later. But once I returned, his promises vanished. Completely on my own for everything. It was a total change from what we had agreed upon. I could understand being busy with work. But that wasn't the case for him. Even on days he could leave work on time, he wouldn't pick up Mia from daycare but would come home early to enjoy snacks and drinks alone. I'd rush home to cook dinner, which he'd wait for while lazing around. Of course, this put a strain on little Mia too. I managed to juggle my shortened work hours for a little over a year while soothing a fussy Mia. Preparing meals, taking a shower with her, and putting her to bed. Looking back, it seems that was the easier time. At least he would respond to Mia's clumsy attempts at conversation while drinking before dinner. My husband probably thought Mia was cute too when she was little. But as Mia started talking more and showing typical girlish tendencies, maybe he found it annoying or too much trouble to engage with her. Before we knew it, conversations with Mia stopped, and all that came out of my husband's mouth were complaints and grievances directed at me. One day, after enduring such days, my husband finally exploded in front of us. I had come home earlier than usual that day because of my reduced work hours, waiting for my husband, who hadn't returned yet, while trying to keep Mia in good spirits as I prepared dinner and shower. When my husband came home on time, he glanced at me and started with his usual complaints. Huh? You're still doing that? I'm tired from work. Why do I have to wait for dinner? Sorry. What? Sorry again? You think saying sorry fixes everything? I don't think so, but I'm stretched thin too. Excuses. A wife should handle it. It's already 6:30 when I get home tired. In other families, the wife would have a nice meal ready, waiting for her husband's return. Well, before, Lisa, you used to do that. Waiting for me with a delicious meal when I got home. I miss those days. Mia shrank back at her father's deliberately loud outburst. Trying to calm Mia down, I found myself at a loss for words. Of course. Those days he mentioned were when I was on maternity leave, not working for over 2 years, and staying at home. Despite the challenges before and after giving birth, I managed to take care of the house and wait for my husband to return. But things are completely different now. I've returned to work, and Mia goes to daycare. It was my husband who confidently sent me off to work, promising to cooperate for the family's sake. Has he forgotten that? Or, did you hate me going back to work? Huh? When I went back to work, you said you'd help out for the family's sake. Yeah, I said that at the time. But, trying it out, I realized I couldn't handle it. What? Picking up Mia from daycare on my way home, then preparing dinner and shower. Impossible. He says impossible, but he never even tried. I almost lashed out at him, but I knew this wasn't the time to say what I was thinking. I swallowed my words and tried my best to speak calmly. But look, when I was on maternity leave and struggling with childbirth and parenting, you helped me out a lot, right? Well, yeah, but you were also at home then. It's the same now. I come straight home after work. I'm at home right now. It's different. What? Things keep changing. Mia grows up and doesn't listen to me. I'm getting older and work tires me out more, and there's stress. Besides, I'm just not cut out for family life. What? Doing something for the family, that's not something someone like me can handle. I've realized I can't do it alone, so I've decided I'm not going to do it anymore. I was stunned by my husband's sudden denial of our family life. He was rejecting all the happiness we had. Deciding and acting on his own. Still hoping for something from him, I spoke with a trembling voice, trying to hide it. Then, let's talk more. We've only been a family for a few years, right? Maybe we're just not used to it yet. We have time now, and we can talk anytime you come home on time or after Mia goes to bed. It all just sounds so bothersome. What? I don't want to talk about it anymore. I couldn't understand what he meant by bothersome. What did he mean by it's enough? What do you mean? My voice trembled uncontrollably as I tried to imagine his response. But my husband, without noticing my state and not even hiding his lethargy, answered. Meaning? What? That means I have nothing more to talk about with you. Do you understand what that means? So like I said earlier, family life just isn't for me. And that means I'll provide a fair amount of money. Well, even while working is fine. Just take care of the house and Mia's upbringing while you're at it. What's that supposed to mean? Because you hate the idea of quitting your job, right? What? Working was a given for you since we got married, right?
So, quitting my job solves everything?
It's not even about that anymore. That's fine. I'd be in trouble if you quit and then complain. That's not. Is that so? With a strong-willed woman like you, compromising only to end up worse off is too scary to think about. That's awful. Huh? You're the one being awful. Leaving your tired husband to fend for himself while you live at your own pace. Be grateful I haven't thrown you out, given how unappealing you've become. Faced with my husband's glare, unlike anything I'd seen before, I was speechless. Seeing his true nature, my vision started to darken. Then, having silently watched us with anxiety, Mia couldn't bear the sound of her father's yelling she'd never heard before and started crying loudly. Knowing Mia was there yet exposing her to our argument must have filled her with unprecedented anxiety and fear. I hugged Mia, stroking her head repeatedly, apologizing with "I'm sorry." Thinking my husband clicked his tongue, he deliberately made noise as he went to his room.
Hey! That's not right, is it?
His attitude towards our child, clearly upset because of us, was immature. As a person, how could I overlook such behavior from my husband? My words came out involuntarily. What? Gathering my courage against his obviously annoyed face, I stood my ground.
Apologize to Mia.
Huh?
You made Mia cry by dragging her into an adult's argument and then clicked your tongue? Apologize to her.
After another click of his tongue, he said sorry in a mocking, half-hearted way. Glancing at me as if to say, "Are you happy now?" he headed back to his room, leaving me to mutter, "That's terrible." Under my breath. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Like I said earlier, I'll provide a fair amount of money, and you'll handle the house and child care. I won't be involved in that anymore. A clear declaration of abandoning family responsibilities.
Are you serious?
As serious as can be. I won't throw you out for now, but I'll do as I please. But I have to maintain appearances. You look good and are smart, so I'll keep you around, but you better align with me on this.
What do you mean?
There's a lot to being a company man. That's the wife's duty, right? Having said his piece, he started walking away again. Without looking back, the door closed behind him, symbolizing our future. And truly, my husband never helps with housework or childcare again. Moreover, his absences from home increased, and each time he returned, he'd reek of perfume. When doing laundry, I'd catch whiffs of another woman's scent on his clothes, sometimes even finding makeup stains. Initially, I sighed and tried to talk to him despite his blatantly adulterous behavior. But each time, his words were more insulting than before. What? If you won't sleep with me, I have to find it elsewhere. Besides, you don't even react anymore. You're not even a woman to me. Young girls are so much better. They're sweet, cute, and obedient. Spending time with you is a waste. I'll keep you as a wife for appearances, but that's it. Handle Mia, will you? Her constant crying is annoying. Dry cleaning? Shouldn't you realize that without being told, you idiot? Just hearing your voice turns me off. Shut up. Be grateful I haven't thrown you out, you're worthless. The countless insults wore me down. Colleagues worried about me, urging me to divorce quickly. Yet, I had my principles, believing in doing things my way for Mia's sake, while also fulfilling my duty as a wife, keeping up appearances for a husband concerned about public image. It was like an unspoken agreement with a husband who continued to contribute financially to some extent. However, things changed drastically after I became independent. Well, I worked hard to change them, really. 5 years since starting my own business. Every day has been a race towards Mia's elementary school graduation. And today, of all days, happens to be our wedding anniversary. I'm about to turn what should be a significant day for a couple into our divorce anniversary. While I was thinking about this, my phone, which I had tossed onto the bed, began to vibrate. Looking at the name displayed on the screen, I couldn't help but smirk as it wasn't a message but a call.
Hello? Hey, what's this?
I couldn't stop laughing internally at the predictable turn of events. Without responding immediately, I could hear my husband's incessant shouting from the other side of the phone.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? What's this about our stuff being sent over here?
Oh, we moved.
Huh?
That's right, we moved out of that house.
What? Why did you move out without telling me? What about my house?
Do whatever you like with it. I sent the stuff over, after all.
Huh? Don't mess with me. That's my house too.
A house you're barely claiming to be yours is quite ridiculous.
What?
Spending most of your time at some woman's place, only coming back when you need something, messing up the house without doing anything, and then leaving again. You can't really say you live there, can you?
But...
No buts about it. You were the one who said family life wasn't for you, right? So, I just created an environment where you wouldn't be tied down by a family. Sorry for the delay.
I didn't ask for any of this.
Well, you declared family life wasn't for you, so. Plus, that house was under my contract, so if I decide to stop living there, there's no choice but to leave. So, we can't live in that house anymore. My husband took a breath, then asked in a lower voice.
Are you telling me you changed the contract name on purpose, anticipating this?
Who knows? I was clearly enjoying this, knowing it would annoy my husband. But there's no need to hold back anymore. After all the unsaid things, I'm ready to throw my feelings at him. Whether he wants to hear them or not. Want to know? I deliberately asked my husband. Hearing his characteristic click of the tongue over the phone. He must have finally realized how far ahead I've moved. It's too late for him to notice now. Especially since he was the one who started the whole family life isn't for me narrative.
What do you mean?
You really want to know, huh?
I have the right to know. It's not like I'm interested.
The pride, or whatever he's trying to protect with his petty excuses, is utterly exhausting. I see. Well, yes. Among other things, changing the lease to my name was one of the preparations I made. I told him quite plainly. This move was possible because the rental contract was in my name. Originally, the lease was supposed to be under my husband's name when we first got married. However, after his declaration that family life wasn't for him, he was hardly ever home. If that were the only issue, it might have been bearable, but he wouldn't even respond to messages. If something happened concerning the house and he wasn't there, nothing could be done. Fed up with the inconvenience, I proposed changing the lease to my name one day after this situation started. He probably thought it would be a hassle to be involved with a house he hardly visited. Surprisingly, he agreed to the change without much fuss. I also switched our phone plan from a family plan to one in my name only, gradually moving towards this day without his knowledge. Well, changing the lease certainly made today's outcome possible. Keeping someone who's never home as the leaseholder was inconvenient, and that's the truth.
You're so conniving.
I'd rather not be lectured by someone who's entirely in the dark.
Huh?
His voice rose in surprise, perhaps realizing how much he's missed, then he coughed awkwardly, trying to regain composure. Ignoring his reaction, I continued. You're one to talk, sneaking around like that.
What are you talking about?
Using Mia to pretend you're good with kids, bringing your girlfriends home when I'm on late shifts and Mia's home alone.
What? What are you talking about?
When I was on late shifts and Mia was home alone, you'd come back with another woman and use Mia to make it seem like you love kids, huh?
What? What's that about?
Mia told me. She said it's creepy how you always give her dirty looks but act all sweet and gentle in a sugary voice in front of your girlfriend. He probably never imagined Mia would rat him out to me. I can just picture my husband, out of sight, face turning red and biting his lip in frustration.
Did you threaten Mia into saying that?
Of course not. Unlike you, I can actually have a normal conversation with Mia. No way Mia would talk about that. Huh? You clearly don't understand the reality of her. What? Sure, Mia looks young and small, but she's a mature 12-year-old inside. She's responsible, quick-witted, and has a good memory. She communicates well with her teachers and classmates and often gets praised for it. Why wouldn't such a girl talk to me about something that bothers her? Huh? He must have forgotten how he struggled with Mia becoming precariously mature as a preschooler and started avoiding her. Avoiding her only meant he didn't understand Mia, which, ironically, worked out in my favor. Well, you must have been quite the actor, playing the part of the doting child in front of you. Mia's smart. She played along to lower your guard and get information from you too. Really helped me out, having such a clever child. That's... By the way, I got your girlfriend's address, where I sent your stuff, from Mia too. What's that about? Mia asked your girlfriend directly. You guys were talking about going to her parents' house in front of Mia, so she asked where that was. The woman must have been thrilled Mia talked to her, because she proudly told her. Hearing this, my husband is likely verifying the information with the woman beside him. She, too, probably never expected things to turn out this way. I can hear her frantically apologizing. Adults tend to let their guard down around children. But Mia, despite being so young, has grown up with surprisingly mature thoughts due to the distorted environment we've created. It's not just my husband's fault. I share the responsibility for making Mia the way she is. That's why escaping from the environment that shaped her this way has been my top priority. This is good for you too, right? What? Going back to your girlfriend's parents' place means you were planning to leave me for her, right? That's... After all that talk about not wanting a family, it's funny what you're thinking, at least to me. Laughing through my nose, my husband falls silent. Hit by a painful truth and unable to respond. Well, it doesn't matter to me anymore. How can you say it doesn't matter, springing this on me all of a sudden? Why not? If you're going to start a family, you'll need furniture and appliances, right? I've handed over everything from your former household. Truthfully, I never wanted to see anything again that belonged to a man who let another woman into our home. But still, it's a nuisance for someone who knows nothing about this. That's none of my business. I've never met or seen her. Oh, and now that you've lost a home, why not just stay there? Huh? Her parents would be thrilled to have a son-in-law. How do you know that? Because that's what your girlfriend told Mia. She said she'd quit her job right away if Daddy would come to stay as their son-in-law. Huh? What's that about? My husband, clearly unaware, seems to be in the midst of some commotion on the other side of the phone, with shouting and shrieking audible. Not that I'm interested in what they're saying. I just need to convey what I have to say. Excuse me, are you busy right now? Huh? Read the room. I am reading the room, that's why I politely asked before speaking. Huh? As my husband mutters in confusion, I deliver the final blow. Maybe both of you getting fired and going back to her place might just work out perfectly. Huh? After a brief word, silence followed, then my husband's low voice echoed. What do you mean by that? Exactly what it sounds like. Both of you might be getting fired. Why? Why? Because she's a model, right? Though calling her a model might be giving her too much credit. My husband falls silent again, perhaps wanting to hide something now. Lena Ortega. Huh? She's one of the models for your company's products, part of a group, right? How do you know that? Remember, we have a security camera at the front door. Oh? The woman you brought home was caught on it. I recognized her from somewhere, then realized she was a model for your nerdy company's products. I never thought you'd know. Whether I know or not isn't the point. What matters is that it's probably not a good look. Having an affair with a model from your own company. Well, it goes both ways.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm talking about a compliance violation.
Huh?
You hadn't thought of that at all?
Huh? Love is free, isn't it? Why would the company care about that?
Hearing this, even an adult would be dismayed. To think I've been married to such a person for years disappoints even myself. Look, love might be free, but that's under the assumption both parties are single. You're still legally my husband, a married man. Our marriage is as good as broken. So, love should still be free, right? I'm truly appalled. You're still my husband in the eyes of the law, regardless of the state of our relationship. And haven't you always prioritized me as your wife to maintain appearances for the company? Yeah. That's my point. It's all about appearances. Imagine the scandal if it got out that you, the loving husband, were having an affair with an image model.
You. If you don't say anything, no one will know. This isn't a threat.
I can't understand how he can be so indignant. I'm not threatening him. I'm taking actions to sever ties as soon as possible. He should realize the consequences of his actions. Sorry to disappoint you.
What?
There's a letter from a lawyer along with your stuff, right?
A letter from a lawyer?
In the box labeled important in big letters. I hear him roughly setting down the phone and moving towards the box. After some rustling and heavy footsteps, his voice comes back louder.
You've got to be kidding.
Did you read it?
Reporting to the company? Are you trying to ruin me?
I'm not trying to ruin anyone. Just stating the truth.
You've got to be kidding me.
In this divorce, I'm facing significant disadvantages. So, I've asked the lawyer to ensure I receive as much alimony as possible. Proving the dishonest actions of you and that woman is essential, which means we need the company to verify the facts of what you two have been up to.
Shut up with your babbling. You're just resentful, aren't you?
It might be time to stop trying to have a rational conversation with my husband. He's probably in the same state as when he used to berate me, where nothing I say will make it through to him, and it's just a waste of time. Hey, you know this call can be submitted as evidence, right?
Huh? You're not recording this, are you?
Of course. What you're doing could be considered extortion. The lawyer said the recording could be fully utilized as evidence. Oh, and I've recorded all your verbal abuse over the years and handed those recordings to the lawyer, too. There's quite a lot.
Hey, you're lying, right?
If you think it's a lie, why don't you ask your company's legal advisor? They should already be informed about this situation.
Huh?
Of course. I sent a report directly to your boss. It would naturally escalate to higher-ups or the legal advisor from there. Oh, and by the way, I've also informed her agency. Perhaps the woman heard my words through the speaker. I can hear her screaming from the other side of the phone. Karma. These two destroyed a home. The place where Mia and I were supposed to live happily and warmly, they shattered it for their own desires. They deserve to face the consequences. That's the situation. No matter what you do or say, you're losing this case. Even if we didn't divorce, I'd win and end up divorcing you anyway. For the sake of both our time and money, just sign and submit the divorce papers. All I can hear from the other end now is heavy breathing. He must have realized that anything he said would be futile. I understand, came a small voice from my husband. Please discuss the rest through the lawyer. I won't be directly interacting with you two anymore. We probably won't ever meet again. Goodbye. After saying that unilaterally, I ended the call and immediately blocked the number. Following that, through the lawyer, of course, the divorce papers were swiftly filed due to the fault lying entirely on their side, and I received a substantial alimony. As for the division of assets during the divorce, I had no interest, and neither did my husband desire it. Ironically, had he known about my earnings since becoming independent, he might have wanted a share. However, unaware of my success, he didn't seek any, and I certainly wasn't going to offer. Rejecting any division of property, he called it quits. What a fool, losing his job and everything. Anna, my work partner visiting my new home, laughed as she sipped her midday beer. He never really saw me for who I was. He truly didn't notice. Surprised that you ended up earning so much after going solo? Pretty much. I don't have expensive tastes, and I haven't really changed anything about the house. In that sense, your ex did you a favor. If he had noticed, he could have taken a good chunk of your wealth. I joined in the laughter and took a sip of my beer, relishing the bitter taste as it spread through my mouth. Delicious. I'm finally able to enjoy beer for its taste. Really? Before, it was more like drinking to forget.
Right. And this time, we even got help from a client.
Yes. But I think it's all thanks to Lisa's good karma. Actually, during this ordeal, the mistress caused quite a scene, eventually storming into my salon and causing a commotion. However, the client I was attending to at the time happened to be a senior figure at the mistress's agency. Recognizing the young upstart causing the trouble as her junior, she reprimanded her during the treatment. The mistress, having disrupted her senior's private time and earning her ire, turned pale. The agency was informed by the client, leading to the mistress's contract termination. The client, condemning the mistress's indiscriminate affair and lack of self-awareness, sided with me completely. She apologized for her junior's behavior, bowing her head in regret. Worried about potential reputational damage, the client promoted my salon on social media, referred many acquaintances, and far from suffering any backlash, my business became busier than ever. I'm truly grateful to that person. A lifesaver.
Yeah, and we're fully booked again from tomorrow.
Indeed.
Looks like it's going to be a while before I have any mail company again.
I chuckled at Anna's feigned disappointment.
What are you talking about? You're a bigger workaholic than me, Anna.
Anna grinned, admitting, you got me. Knowing all too well the days I spent silently crying and hurting. She teases and makes me laugh because she knows. Thank you. For what? Anna replied with another playful face.
Nothing. Let's drink.
I topped up Anna's glass, nearly empty, and poured more into my own.
Just don't get so drunk that Mia scolds you. Not HM. You know Mia's out now, but when she comes back, she'll definitely say, Mom's drunk again, and somehow, I end up being the bad guy.
All right, I get it. No, you don't.
It's fine. Cheers!
How many times are we going to toast? I said, but our glasses clinked with a pleasant sound. Tomorrow, another busy day starts. But today is a day of rest and recharge with my important partner, Anna. Though I've lost a life partner, I never want to lose Anna, my invaluable ally. Anna, let's keep supporting each other.
Of course, Lisa.
Without taking for granted the presence of Mia, Anna, and our dear clients. I'll engage, talk, and cherish each moment so we can all spend our days smiling.